Hola. Uy, qué dolor de vida. Estoy de vacaciones. Que llevo ya 2 horas y 44 minutos de vacaciones. No os podéis ni imaginar la alegría que tengo. Creo que me desborda la alegría por el cuerpo. Estoy de vacaciones. No me lo creo ni yo. Que estoy de vacaciones. Y nada más llegar a casa, a eso de las 6:30, me han llamado del curro y me han dicho: estate disponible por lo que pueda pasar. Estoy de vacaciones, pero estoy acojonado. Y así es la vida. Muy buena gente, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis? Bienvenidos a este, para mí, nuevo FMV llamado Dark Nights with POE and MUNRO. Que como cualquier FMV, imagino que será cortito, así que esperemos, en principio, pasárnoslo. Aunque antes me gustaría pedir que el juego funcionase y que el directo fuese bien. Muchas gracias. Ay, Made with Unity. Con Unity mismo. Por el amor de Dios, que me funcione el juego, por favor.
Dark Nights.
With Poe and MUNRO.
Maravilloso. Obviously, vamos a cambiarle el idioma a Spanish. Vamos a poner los grandecitos. No. Vale, pantalla completa. ¿Podemos salir? Podemos salir. Podemos limitar a 25 FPS por tema de que es una película. Estaría bien. Pero en principio vamos a... ¿Tiene capítulos esto? ¡Ey, terrible Majin! ¿Qué tal, compañero? ¿Qué hago? Disfrutar de mis vacaciones. Porque no sé lo que me van a durar. En principio tengo todo el mes pedido, de octubre. ¡Ja! Ni vosotros ni yo vais a ser conscientes de que eso va a ser verdad. Comencemos, juego nuevo. Venga. Noches oscuras con Poe and MUNRO. FMV, veremos a ver qué tal. Es de los creadores de Shafting Detective, que fue un FMV que me flipó muchísimo. Sí, bueno, he empezado el directo diciendo que tenga el teléfono activo. O sea, he llegado a casa, lo primero que he hecho nada más llegar a casa es coger una llamada del trabajo y decirme: ten el teléfono activo, por favor. Así que no sé lo que voy a estar de vacaciones. Igual entre, no sé, durante el mes me toca ir a trabajar un día o dos. Pero bueno, me gustaría no trabajar, todo hay que decirlo, ¿eh? Descansar, que llevo un año de horas y de trabajos y de aguantar
Dark Nights.
With Poe and MUNRO.
mierdas que no os lo podéis ni... Bueno, lo podéis imaginar porque os lo he contado, pero bueno. Pues eso, disfrutemos un poquito del juego.
You're listening to Radio August. Dark Nights with Poe.
And MUNRO.
¿De qué trabajas? Estoy en un centro logístico. Segundito.
Fun fact: helicopters can cause lightning strikes.
I suppose we should send ours back then.
We have a helicopter?
Yes, Munro, we have a helicopter. And on that note, what's next, Munro?
It's on the schedule, silly.
I know that. I'm just making it sound like you have a choice.
Okay then. What shall I choose? Let me see. I choose a long walk on the beach.
Ah, yes. With the moon's bright eye bobbing on the black tide.
No. The sun is shining, and the sand is hot and soft between my toes. Wouldn't you like to walk on a beach with me, Poe?
Alas, I fear I would burst into flames at the sun's first embrace.
But you were outside this afternoon.
Then I must simply hate the beach.
That's a shame. I hate skinny dipping alone.
I'd never dream of letting you skinny dip on your own.
And talking of wet dreams. Dreams
And nightmares.
with Poe
Excellent
and
choice,
Monroe.
Monroe.
I didn't have one really, did I?
You always have a choice, Monroe. But that doesn't mean you can change things.
A ver, terrible Majin, te digo una cosita, ¿vale? Lo estoy intentando por todos los medios quitar. Tengo un mod que me bloquea las palabrotas.
And if you just
Te leo,
listen
¿vale?
through,
Y lo voy a leer en voz
you
alta.
mean
¿Qué
honest
cojones es esto?
of the month.
Un
What
FMV,
else are people listening?
una película interactiva.
Radio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Le voy a aceptar, pero lo digo por
We
si
have something they don't.
ves que los mensajes no salen, es porque las palabrotas se las come el mod.
Indeed. Talking of tongues that wag, we have a caller. Are you ready for a dream?
My whole life.
De hecho, esta chica salía en
Frankie,
The Chef
you're live with Monroe.
Hi,
Detective.
Frankie.
What a beautiful voice you have.
Well, thank you. I think all voices are beautiful.
Era una de las posibles asesinas.
Okay. So, what's your dream, listener?
I'm in August, and wherever I go, all I can hear is the radio. It's everywhere. It's loud and relentless, but there's this bird. She cuts through the noise and guides me. I listen to the bird, and I fall blissfully asleep.
That's very interesting.
Es maja,
People
sí.
dream about their surroundings a lot. And a dream within a dream? That's nothing to worry about either. What do you think, Poe?
I think you have a hardcore fan, Monroe. What did the bird look like, Frankie?
Beautiful. Angelic. But it's trapped in a cage. A prison. But there's only one warden. And the warden is weak.
There's a warden.
Another bird. With a rumbling voice that makes me angry. It plumes its feathers, but my bird?
Y si este sigue un poquito lo que viene siendo la línea de...
Interested in him.
And she's
No sé
killed.
si esta compañía hizo también la del detective,
Frank. He's talking about us.
pero tenías como 20 finales diferentes, completamente
I never
diferentes.
said it was a dream.
Well, I think we've had quite enough of this.
Listen to the warden jangling his keys. Don't you see he's imprisoned you, Ellis?
Well, Frankie, we don't use our first names on air, so
I've cut the call.
is that a good idea?
Well, what was I supposed to do?
Help him. He needed help.
Don't encourage him, Alice. These kinds of things must be nipped in the bud.
Are we still live?
Sorry, listeners. This was a very strange call. I hope you'll agree.
Frankie, if you're still listening, I do apologize for Poe. He can get very protective. I kind of get your analogy now.
Do I, Monroe? Very well, then. Standing down.
Oh, listeners, we've upset him now. Poe's got all frowny face.
Se le ve media teta. Por el costadillo.
What's that?
This? Oh, it's nothing.
What is it?
It's nothing.
Enseña la
Give
carta.
it to me.
How long is the break for?
Give it to me.
All in good time, so how long?
3 minutes?
Okay, I'm going to make some tea for us. You stay here.
You're making tea for me.
I do it all the time.
What's going on? Give me the note. or I'm leaving.
Of course, we must have continued drama, mustn't we, Alice?
What's that supposed to mean? I'm going to kill you. What the hell, Poe? Why were you hiding this from me?
It's just some psychotic listener, that's all.
Frankie?
Not necessarily. We have lots of psychotic listeners.
How can you joke about this as a death threat? It's clearly a death threat.
I knew it would upset you, but I'm an old hand at this, Alice.
A ver, estos juegos suelen tener tramas muy buenas, ¿eh? El último que jugué, que fue el de Erika, me gustó muchísimo la historia.
Someone slipped it under the door.
Just now?
Well, yes, but it's...
Y el que hicieron antes que este, que fue el del detective, me flipó muchísimo.
Weeks?
Maybe a month.
So that could be a killer behind the door.
Maybe, but never when I've looked.
Poe.
It isn't locked, Alice. People can just walk in anyway.
You don't have any locks?
I don't think it's necessary.
Poe. Do you ever get the feeling the radio station is cursed?
No more than the rest of August.
Maybe we should call it a night.
And abandon our listeners? Munro, this isn't like you.
I just have a really bad feeling about this. I think something terrible is going to happen.
Shh, Alice. I can feel your heart racing from here. Everything will be fine.
I don't think so. Come on, we're alive. I think I'm gonna go home.
Don't be like that.
How could you keep this from me? I thought you cared about me. What if I'd been killed?
You know I'd never let anyone hurt a single hair on your head.
Well, that's not entirely true, is it?
I don't know what you mean.
You know exactly what I mean. Let's not get into that now. We're back with our listeners in 3, 2...
You'd have been a sacrificial shish kebab if it wasn't for me.
Oh, Bo, that sounds like a great story, but it'll have to wait, because we're back with our listeners and more dreams and nightmares.
Okay, who's our next listener? It's Frankie again.
Put him through.
Frankie, you're live with Munro.
I didn't finish what I had to say.
I'm sorry about that. You can carry on now.
Sometimes the radio gets too much. It makes me frustrated. So I go into the belly of the beast, and I hide, and I listen, and I wait.
So this is a dream that breaks into other dreams. Of course, there are no segues for dreams. Poe?
The belly of the beast. Have you been leaving messages, Frankie?
Yes, John. Yes, I have. Have you been getting them?
What did the messages say?
I'm going to kill you.
Tira por el bolso y vámonos.
I see. And why would you dream about wanting to kill?
Ah, no es para irte.
Hello? Police? Help. Someone's threatening to kill Poe right now on Radio August.
It's not a dream, John. I'm coming for you. And Alice.
Police can hear you, Frankie. You're live on air. They will find you.
Better hope they're not too late.
No, don't.
I'm not hiding, Munro.
Just wait for the police.
Hide.
No. If you're not hiding, then neither am I. Frankie? It's Alice. I'm opening the door so we can talk. Okay?
No me parece buena idea.
Just you and me.
Y el otro se ha jodido de puta madre.
Frankie? There's no one here.
I've had enough of this.
What are you doing?
I'm getting our caller back on the line.
Maybe we should just carry on with the show.
Come on, Frankie, pick up. You know you want to.
Con el cinto no vas a hacer nada, te lo digo yo.
Finally, you've picked up. You coward.
Poe, it's me. I found his phone.
Alice?
I've got his phone, but I don't know where he is.
Be careful, Alice.
I'm a safety girl.
¿Tú crees, compañera? Súper, súper cuidadosa eres. La Virgen Santa. Parece una peli de Scream. A ver, los FMV suelen ser bastante, digamos, thriller, bastante de misterio. Pero vuelvo a repetir, me compré el juego porque es de la misma... Iba a decir desarrolladora, no es un juego que se desarrolle. Se puede. Vale, es que me pica un montón el ojo. Me acabo de enamorar muy fuertemente. Pero esta gente fueron los que hicieron la de... Vuelvo a repetir, la de Detective, que me parece uno de los mejores FMVs. Habría jugado unos cuantos, ¿vale? Y podría ordenarlos básicamente como Late Shift, de Shafting Detective y Erika. El podium, ¿vale? Y estos son los que hicieron los del Detective. Y de hecho los actores creo que son prácticamente los mismos. Y aquella era una más de investigación, de misterio, y este tiene más pinta de ser thriller. Rollo Erika.
When I was 12, my father died. He was riding his bike to work and he got hit by a bus. A school bus. My school bus. It was all over very quickly, but I was at the back of the bus and I could see everything.
Luego he jugado a más, pero han sido puta mierda, ¿eh?
Didn't get up. Died instantly. But the image of it somehow stayed with me.
You think?
It doesn't anymore. I couldn't tell you what it looked like. Mother told me a secret.
Que había uno que tenías que llamar por teléfono a varias mujeres.
That you can make your memories.
Y no entendí nada del juego.
Can you make today disappear?
No. But you can. Pick one of these.
Manzana o naranja. Naranja de toda la vida.
Now hold it tightly in your hands and close your eyes.
Now what?
Think of your most troubling memory from this evening and imagine the object you're holding is there. Picture it so you can see it.
Okay.
You have to make yourself believe that the object is there.
Okay, it's there.
Now open your eyes.
Now what?
Throw it away. When you throw it away, it will take that memory with it.
And if it doesn't?
It definitely will.
Y ojo, spoiler, el siguiente capítulo se llama En la cama con Poe y MUNRO. Yo lo dejo ahí.
Finally, tonight, police are appealing for anyone who might know the whereabouts of 35-year-old veterinarian Francisco Bilson.
Mr. Bilson hasn't been seen since the headless body of his business partner Jennifer Gordon was found in an industrial bin outside Lux Fitness. Is that the first murder in August, Poe?
This year, yes, but technically it's on the Stepford border, so whilst August police deal with it, the crime statistic is with Stepford.
Oh, that's cold.
Yes, indeed. Tonight's weather will be cloudy with scattered showers.
Yeah, make sure you cover your head.
Now, what happens when your very own Poe and MUNRO decide to play a game of truth or dare? Stay tuned to find out more later. But first, we want to hear from you, August. Got a guilty secret? Need to get something off your chest? Father Poe is waiting in the confession booth to absolve you of all your sins. Anonymously, of course.
And here's a message from our sponsor.
Está chunga,
Do we have a sponsor?
How do we let him get away, Poe?
He just disappeared. He was dead, Alice. No pulse, no breath.
Then who took him?
It would seem it was our guardian angel.
Just hope he doesn't come back. I never want to hear that voice again.
He won't be coming back.
How can you be so
Siguiente
sure?
llamada.
And why did you take off before the police got here? You left me to deal with everything.
Not everything. Not everything.
Bueno.
Next time on Dark Nights with
Primer capítulo finiquitado.
Our funding's running out, isn't it?
months ago.
How do we pay it back?
A radiothon.
In bed with Poe and MUNRO.
Lurkers, if you're out there just lurking, then give us a sign.
It's Millicent.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary.
The station shuts down. I don't know what I'll do.
You're safe now.
Dark Nights.
With Poe and MUNRO.
Maravilloso. No me esperaba esto así. Esto me encanta, tío, de verdad. Primeras impresiones, elegiste Rayo. Realmente no elegí nada, lo eligió el juego. ¿Quién es Frankie? Cortaste la llamada. Entrega especial, recogiste la nota. El regreso de Frankie. Llamaste a la policía. Seamos sinceros, dejaste que MUNRO saludara a Frankie. Fuiste a por el teléfono del pasillo. Hombre, obviamente, fui a por el teléfono. Tocaste a MUNRO en el sofá. Creo que eso estaba clarísimo. Y elegí la naranja. Curiosamente, fue la menos elegida. Cambiemos de capítulo. En la cama con Poe, en MUNRO. Susurrándote en la nuca. Hola, señor Acid, buenas noches. ¿Qué tal, caballero? ¿Hoy va de sueños húmedos? Sí, por supuesto. Siempre sueños húmedos. Y con música porno.
Dark Nights.
With Poe and MUNRO.
En la cama con Poe y MUNRO.
Our funding's running out, isn't it?
Months ago.
Poe! How are we still here?
My rainy day savings.
You can't use that. That's for you and your family.
No, you're right.
No, porque si no me bloquea el mensaje. Creo que sí.
There's a loan.
Okay, well, how do we pay it back?
We send a seed of hope out to Lady August, and she blossoms it into fruitful returns.
Or we could have a fundraiser.
Yes, a radiothon.
I'm thinking a 24-hour sponsored broadcast. We could call it In Bed with Poe and MUNRO.
You think people will pay us to sleep together in bed for 24 hours?
Hombre, por dormir, por dormir.
You're not allowed to sleep.
Vamos a estar follando 24 horas, piensa Poe, mientras Monroe le mira con ojitos de conejo degollado.
Did we really need that camera?
Yes, Poe. It's proof that we stayed here for 24 hours. If the station shuts down, I don't know what I'll do.
Everything will be fine, Alice. I've set up our donation pages, and the amounts are already rolling in.
How much do we have?
15.
100?
No, 15 pounds.
Wow. You weren't kidding.
I don't mean to get your hopes up, but that was my donation.
You donated 15 pounds.
Maravilloso.
People do it all the time. It's not cheating.
Este es en directo.
Too.
Thanks, Paul. Me too.
Here we go.
Ah, no, no estaba en directo todavía.
Welcome back, listeners. That was The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe. We're now halfway through the show, and it's time to take your calls.
I can't see any callers. Is it working properly, Paul?
It is the witching hour. Maybe everyone's gone to bed.
So,
¿Follamos?
totally alone.
Oh, we could have lurkers.
Yo creo que sí. Bueno, se va a tapar la señorita ya.
What do you mean, lurkers?
People that lurk but never join in. They're probably out there right now.
You mean listeners, right?
Lurkers, if you're out there just lurking, then give us a sign.
It touched me!
What touched you, Alice?
Something. In the bed.
It was probably just my foot.
You're not under the covers, Paul.
Strange. Nothing there.
There was.
Me da por faena, te digo yo que sí. Tonto no es, la verdad. Ups.
Well, thank you, lurkers.
We couldn't get scared without you.
Indeed. I'm getting a very strong sense of déjà vu. What about you, Monroe?
If you mean, have I ever been in bed with someone expecting greatness and then been sorely disappointed, then yeah, I'm getting déjà vu.
It's that positive attitude that brings all the donors to the yard. Speaking of, dear residents of August, please keep donating. Whatever you can afford. Let us keep making radio for you. There. We've got 15 minutes. What shall we do?
Nos sobran 10.
Bathroom.
Of course.
¿Qué está pensando el señor? Lo que no me gusta es que queda como muy confuso las decisiones. Ojo. Se ha visto algo en el espejo, ¿eh?
Be a tired hallucinating queen.
Pinta labios. Siempre pinta labios. no va a estar en la cama. ¿O sí? Pues sí.
Munro, you femme fatale.
I'm feeling pretty sleepy, actually.
Your lips, so luscious. They're making me think things I should not.
Well, lucky that's there then.
Ah, yes, the camera.
¡Yeah!
Tiny piece of glass.
Que se escarrama la chiqueta.
Imaging sensor that protects us from evil.
Are you okay?
Comfortable?
Que siga, que siga, que siga, que siga.
Kiss me or host a radio show?
Look at you. You're perfect in every way. And I can never have you.
Oh, let's not get into this now.
You're like a beautiful butterfly. And the only way I get to keep you is to pin you into my collection.
What?
Easy, girl. Easy now. Easy, girl. There. We've got 15 minutes. What shall we do? Did you fall asleep? It's only been 12 hours.
12 hours?
Yes. You look like you've seen a ghost.
I had a nightmare.
Dreams and nightmares with Poe and Munro.
No. It was real.
Are you okay? Do you want to stop?
I'm fine.
Sleep deprivation, it can play tricks with the mind.
Yeah. I guess.
So, 15 minutes.
I need the bathroom. Again.
Again?
Ojo. Empieza pues interesante, ¿eh? La historia.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tap.
She doesn't love you.
Who are you?
You know who I am. It's Millicent.
I just need to make a call. It's broken. Why?
I'm not leaving you again.
Este también salía, creo, en el juego, ¿eh?
Now.
Make me.
Vale.
What?
Edgar, you're being a terrible bore.
Edgar.
Why don't you come with me, like a good boy, and let me help you?
What?
Dime que se llama Virginia y ya la lío, ¿eh?
Bad dreams. Just bad dreams. Nope.
Nope.
No.
Sal a investigar, compañera.
Fine. You don't want to be a door? That's not right. Poe?
So you think I'm Edgar Allan Poe?
You are, and I'm Millie. Remember?
Ahora era Millie, claro.
I'm really not sure.
Well, let me remind you.
Okay, remind me.
Es que estoy pensando a ver si alguna de las mujeres de Alan Poe se llamaba Millie. Y no me suena. Recuerdo a Virginia, que era su prima. ¿Y cómo se llamaba la otra? ¿Cómo se llamaba la otra? Que era fue la primera mujer.
You're not going anywhere.
Why are we here?
To remind you of your promise.
What promise?
In this very room, you told me we'd be together for eternity.
I don't remember.
You told me eternity. If I did what you asked.
Which was? No. I'd never do that. Poe would never do that.
No.
Murderer.
Y te me estoy intentando recordar algunos de los cuentos de Poe, por si tuviera relación, pero no. No me viene a la cabeza ninguno. Coño, no, le he dado al botón. ¿Que le estoy dando al botón? La Virgen. Niña, despierta. Repiten, escena. ¿Tengo que mantenerlo o cómo funciona esto?
Poe! Is that you?
Me meto para cortar los tiras. Sois unos poco así como saliditos.
Oh, thank God. Where are we? What's happening? Is it a dream? What are you doing with that?
There. We've got 15 minutes. What shall we do?
I can't believe you did that.
What?
Come with me.
Where? We've got 15 minutes.
Come with me.
Alrighty. Where we going, missus?
Poe? Are you really Poe?
Course, governor. What's the jig?
Poe,
Esos efectos especiales ahí.
this can't be happening. Poe?
Monroe?
Who is she?
That's your question.
Yes, that's a bit strange, Alice. Perhaps should have led with, why are we tied up?
Well, I thought maybe you could ask that. A lover's tiff, Edgar. Is new one not up to snuff?
What's she talking about?
She thinks I'm the real Edgar Allan Poe.
Well, you're named after
Donnie Darko.
I'm not Poe. I'm Poe.
What's the plan, Poe?
Get out.
Oh. That was easy.
What shall we do about him?
Untie him.
Cambio de plano inesperado, ¿eh? Que se le veía el canalillo a la señora. Me suena la película de Donnie Darko.
Where are we now, Poe?
Does it matter?
No.
Everything is full of stars,
And the stars are full of people.
and the people are full of stars.
And we're
La
all
canción que está sonando, la de Blancanieves.
What's that sound, Poe?
Don't be alarmed.
It's beeping.
It's just an alarm.
Oh, Poe, you silly bunny.
Qué puta rayada, macho. Monóxido de carbono, ojo. ¿Están siendo envenenados?
We need to go quickly.
Fire.
I don't know.
Mad World de Gary, yo no tengo ni idea.
Tell them what happened, Poe.
It's ghastly, really. Do they need to know?
Yes, they do.
All right, then.
Good boy.
Monroe and I almost passed away last week from carbon monoxide poisoning.
But we didn't. Yay.
That much should be obvious. Our central heating system became blocked and started backing up carbon monoxide into the building.
But lucky I got that detector, eh, Poe?
Yes, indeed. But not so lucky for the young raven stuck in the flue.
What?
I didn't want to tell you because it's not very nice. But since you asked, the blockage was because a young raven had become stuck in the flue.
No. What happened?
From what the insurers could make out, it got stuck and then its mate came in after it. Both of them died together.
That's so sad. Everything dies.
Well, they are together now. Somewhere in distant Aden. But in our realm, they will be nevermore.
Let's change the subject. How much money do we raise for the station?
Actually, the insurance paid out quite a lot of money. It seems the installers had also been negligent by not including a protective barrier on the flue, so...
So the ravens died to save our show?
Yes, you could say that. Or a bungled building job almost killed us. So, glass half full, I'd say.
Agreed. Perhaps we shouldn't spend so much time in bed together, Poe.
Do you really
Bueno.
think that?
Perhaps.
Acaban de romper. En directo.
Next time on Dark Nights with
Bueno.
Poe and MUNRO. Yesterday in the August update, you said that Joe Watts had gone missing.
He'd gone to a friend's house after school and hadn't come back. So, what are you saying?
We worked the case ourselves. You be good cop, and I'll be bad.
Mapa de Fallout, ¿en serio?
Yes, I'd like to report.
Oh, la otra, la loca. Son los mismos actores, ¿eh?
Supposed to do?
Del Chef Detective.
Just see the
Los mismos. Bueno, la señora no me suena.
Dark Nights.
Pero el señor de color oscurito y la chica esta me suenan un montón. Vale, ¿hay alguien ahí? ¿Asustas a MUNRO? Elegiste pintalabios, el 50%, es un poco absurdo. Elegiste tocar a Millicent. Pues no. Quise llamar a ver qué cojones pasaba. Evitaste la no puerta. Los cojones. Lo bonito que ha quedado eso. Le cogiste la mano a Millicent. Elegiste desatar a MUNRO primero. ¿Está bien? Y despertaste a POE. Podría haber muerto. Si hubiera muerto, ¿qué hubiera pasado? Ojo. No sé si se puede saltar la cinemática, ¿eh? Parece que no. Bueno, pues... la veremos por tercera vez.
Dark nights.
With Poe and MUNRO.
Green with Envy. No sé cómo se llama.
Caller on line 3.
Is that a bad thing?
I changed the number after Frankie. He's the only one that knows it.
Frankie's dead. We imagined all that.
So we take the call then?
Sí.
Who is it?
Hello?
He will die if you let him.
Frankie?
The boy... The order you do things is important. I've seen them all.
Is this a prank? Frankie's dead. Who is this?
Listen, just listen. She will lie to you. She will get away. She will kill the boy. You can't change that.
What are we supposed to do?
I don't have the lines between the dots. I just see the final picture.
I don't like that, Poe.
Me neither. And here's Yvette on line 2.
I love your show.
Thanks, Yvette. I love your accent.
Hola, John.
What's your question?
My question is, do you care about people?
That's a strange question.
It's an AMA, Munro. Ask me anything literally means ask me anything.
Yeah, I know. But do we care about people? Yes, of course.
Speak for yourself, Munro. I'm an animal lover myself.
So you don't care about people?
No, I do care about people, just I care about animals more.
So you care about animals more than people?
Present company excluded, of course.
So that's a yes and a no.
Wait one moment of that. So if I was crossing the road at the same time as a cute bunny, and you could only swerve and save one of us, you would choose the bunny?
No, hombre, no.
I'd save you, obviously.
Well, that's reassuring.
I said I'd save you.
And how long did you have to think about it?
I like to consider things.
You have a split second.
Well, I wasn't timing it.
Fine. Save me?
You.
You said that quickly to get on my good books, didn't you?
No, I'm not a big cat fan.
No, no he hecho nada de los gatos.
What?
Does that answer your question, Yvette?
Yes, I think so. I do have another dilemma.
Maybe we can help, Yvette.
I'd rather not say on air.
That's all right. Happy to help. It's about time for a short break anyway.
Stay on the line, Yvette.
We'll be back in 5 minutes to answer more of your AMA questions. Until then, here's something slightly more interesting instead. We're off.
Yvette?
I've got a hostage.
A hostage?
He's a boy from August I.
Ojo.
Why is he a hostage, Yvette?
I had a crush on him, but he turned out to be unpleasant.
So you kidnapped him?
No, I took his drink.
Is he okay, Yvette?
Not really. He has not woken up yet. But now that I've spoken to you, I'm probably just going to let him die. I like animals more than people anyway. Like Paul.
Yvette, I was joking with Munro.
Thank you for your help.
Va a ser la loca
Did
de
you get the
antes.
number?
No, it's withheld.
Maybe she was joking.
We should call the police just in case. Tell them what was said.
Really? I'm not sure.
Why aren't you sure?
I don't trust August police.
They're the police.
Exactly.
We don't even know who's been kidnapped.
Yes, we do.
We do?
Do you even listen to yourself reading the August update?
Not really. I normally drift off.
You drift off?
I imagine myself at the opera. I'm on stage, and there's this beautiful young lady in the front row. But she's dressed like a cat.
Okay. Let's circle back to that another day.
So what are you saying?
We work the case ourselves.
That boy could get hurt.
Not if we hurry up. Yesterday in the August update, you said that Joe Watson gone missing.
Ah, yes, I remember. He'd gone to a friend's house after school and hadn't come back.
What are the odds that Yvette has got Joe hostage?
Almost as high as Yvette not being her actual name.
I know the headmistress from the high school. Maybe we should talk to her.
Or maybe the parents. They asked for the story to be run.
Va por la directora.
Don't you want to go back to school?
You clearly had a better childhood than I did.
I still have my cheerleading outfit.
Bueno.
That's settled then. Let's talk to the headmistress first. What's her name?
Dallas Umber.
That's a strange name.
She's a strange woman.
Take a seat, both of you. Whilst it's admirable that you're returning to complete your education, you're a little old for this institution.
Sorry, you're mistaken. I have a degree in cryptozoology.
That's not a real degree.
It's okay, Poe. She's messing with us.
Really?
Yes, I'm eccentric, can't you tell?
Well,
No
we're
creas,
here about
John.
Joseph Watts.
And there was I thinking I was going to be on the radio.
Joseph is a pupil here, though, right?
He certainly is. Head boy and heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker.
He's a good-looking lad. Generous nature, always helping people.
Any idea where he could have gone?
Probably at some young lady's house whose parents are away.
He went missing yesterday, and we had a caller on Radio August who said they'd kidnapped him.
Kidnapped? Sounds a bit far-fetched.
We're looking for him, so anything you can tell us would be useful.
You'd be better off talking to his form tutor, Miss Clay, but
How was Joe doing at school?
he was
Informes.
doing as well as he could for a boy.
For a boy?
Boys aren't as clever as girls, academically, Poe. They don't apply themselves enough, especially in mixed-sex schools.
Is this a mixed-sex school?
Mixed-sex? Yes it is.
Was Joe being bullied by anyone?
No. Joe's a sporty type. Not sure he'd be easily pushed around.
Do you know any pupils called Yvette?
Not recently. Why, are you looking for someone called Yvette?
Y ese giro de cámara.
It's the name of the kidnap.
And by recent, you mean?
Well, I was at school with an Yvette, but that was many moons ago. Not in August. Different country, actually.
Well, we should be off now. Here's my number, if Joe turns up, or if you think of any place he might be.
Thank you, Mrs. Umber.
It's Miss Umber.
Miss Umber.
You two, take care. August's not the town it used to be.
What's our next move, Munro?
A lo Fala,
What did you
es
say
brutal.
Joe's teacher was again?
Miss Clay.
If we can find her address, we should visit her.
I think she's staying at the guest house.
Why do you think that?
I saw a bill on Miss Amber's desk.
Let's go see her then.
We could.
La pensión será esto,
And
¿no?
there's also Joe's parent.
I'm worried about what Frankie said. Is this the right move?
I've no idea.
Let's go
¿Dónde
and
está
see Miss
Guillermo?
Clay.
And hope she's at the guest house.
I like making the decisions.
I'm very happy to be woman-led.
I know you are, Poe. I'm gonna talk to Miss Gallagher. You find Miss Clay.
Why don't I talk to Miss Gallagher, and you find Miss Clay?
I don't trust you talking to other redheads.
How do we know Miss Clay isn't a redhead?
Es que no sé quién es cada una.
Because she'd be called Miss Scarlet?
No sé quién es cada una. Ojo. John.
Hello,
It's Alice. Alice Munro?
from the radio.
Yeah, from the radio.
What brings you here?
¿Tienes para elegir, John?
One of your guests, actually.
Well, I'm happy to chat, but you will need to help me strip.
Oh,
Se lían, ojalá. Si me dejan, sí.
okay.
No, mentira. Esta era la que iba de asesina y esta creo que era la que podía ser víctima.
The bed.
I like your dress.
It matches my patience. Long and unyielding. If you go around the other side, I find that tends to work best. I'm assuming this is about Miss Clay. She is my only guest.
Yes, the school teacher. One of her pupils has gone missing. Well, being held hostage, actually.
Hostage?
We had a caller on the radio. Someone calling themselves Yvette said that they'd taken this boy, Joe Watts, hostage.
Watts? Oh, yes. The family's been in August for a long time. They manufacture and sell fireworks, of all things.
I love fireworks.
Ghastly things. Not metal in our drinking water. Makes my thyroid throb just thinking about it.
They're fun though, right?
If you're an unethical hedonist.
I will Google
Más
that
moneda de
right
pelo
now.
corto. La otra tiene cara de viciosa. Esta tiene cara de viciosa.
Did you ever meet Joe Watts?
Never met him. August High is a grammar school, though, isn't it? So, presumably, he's clever enough or rich enough to be there.
And Yvette?
Yvette. Yes, I did have an Yvette stay here last year. I think her family were just passing through, though. Her mother was an electrical engineer for a big television company. She did fix my reception, though. Do you think that's her?
Was she Britishy?
Oh yes, Britishy. That quintessential accent of the United Kingdom.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude.
It's okay, Miss Munro, I'm just teasing you. No, she was Russian.
Yvette had a French accent. If you think of anything that might help, please give me a call at the radio station.
Surely you want me to call the police if I notice anything?
Sería lógico. Llámame mi
I'd
compañera.
rather you called us first, if that's okay.
Do the police know what's going on?
His dad doesn't want the police to know.
Very well then. I shall do as I'm told.
Thank you. I know we're gonna find him.
Esta va a llamar a la directora seguro.
Hello? Yes, I'd like to report a kidnapping, please.
Ah, no.
Well, I didn't get much out of Miss Clay. She said Joe was a litter bug.
So she's an eco-warrior.
Yes. I wish we could have recycled our meeting, actually. How was Miss Gallagher?
Kinda dominant. I liked her.
Maybe I shouldn't let you hang around with other redheads.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Let's circle back to this later. Did she say anything useful at all about Joe?
She said Joe's parents sold fireworks.
I suppose that could be useful. Anything else?
She said the only Yvette she knew was Russian, and an electrical engineer, so I'm guessing that's not our Yvette.
Did she say anything about Miss Clay?
Not really. I probably should have asked more questions. I got distracted.
Normal.
Seems we're out of leads. I'm still up for visiting the headmistress again.
We could drill Miss Gallagher some more.
Give it up, Alice.
I'm trying.
No, vamos a seguir
You should
presionando
go
a
on your
esta.
own if you want to talk to Miss Gallagher again.
Okay, bye.
I see. I suppose I should visit Miss Clay then.
Back again, Miss Munro.
Yes. How did you know?
I have ears and a gravel driveway. And I saw your reflection in the window.
We've hit a dead end with Joe.
Oh dear. Want to drive?
Sure.
Oh, you're quite handy, aren't you?
I have my uses.
I wish you'd come for a chat earlier. I was laying screed in the garage.
Screed?
Cement flooring. Wish I'd got the self-leveling stuff now.
Hiding bodies.
Don't be silly. If I was going to do that, I'd use my industrial grade meat mincer.
I probably shouldn't eat here.
Oh no, you should. We've always got plenty of fresh meat in the freezer.
Perks of running a guest house, I guess.
Have you talked to Wes Marie Bolton?
Haven't even heard that name.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Don't you have a dishwasher anyway?
I did. He's under the screed.
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
I'd go see Wes Marie. 17 Hunger Lane. Perhaps Joe was one of the missing she talked about.
Let's hope not.
Miss Clay doesn't seem to know about anything, unless it's an eco issue.
Maybe you're just not prodding her in the right places.
You're welcome to talk to her too.
We don't have time, Poe. The good news is Miss Gallagher gave me a name. Wes Marie Bolton.
Excellent. And the address to go with?
Hunger Lane.
Off Beaconsfield Drive. I know it.
Es que son los mismos actores. La Virgen.
People don't normally want to hear what I have to say.
We do. We want to hear about Joe Watts.
If I tell you what I think, I'll topple my meds.
Well, we don't want to get you in trouble. Just tell us what you can.
Don't be silly, Poe. We're not going to tell anyone. You can tell us anything. It's okay. You can trust us. We're from the radio.
It's Miss Clay. She ran this after school club, Green for Life. I was in it. She made us make a list of those with the most environmental impact in our class. I did it. It was me. I made the list. Joe was third on it and the third person to go missing. You have to help and you need to.
It's okay. We're gonna help. You just need to take a breath.
She'll have him in the woods. At Howe Park. You have to hurry. She'll kill him if they don't pay.
A ransom?
His parents. He is being ransomed. If they pay, she'll donate the money to charity. It's sick. It's gone too far.
And what if they don't pay?
I don't know. I left when I saw it.
What did you see, Westbury?
Miss Clay. She was turning him into trees.
A dryad.
A what now?
A dryad. Someone who's part human, part tree.
We need to go.
How, Park?
Yeah. Where's Marie? Where's Marie? You did good. We're gonna save Joe. You wait here and we'll be back.
Joe!
Joe!
Joe?
Joe!
Joe, no John. Ah, bueno, vale, la acabo de pillar. Madre mía, qué tonto soy.
He's alive. Only just. We need to get him out of here.
Miss Clay?
No, she's not here. You're safe.
She's a tree.
It's okay, Joe. We're going to get you home.
Yo, Poe. Monroe, we have a fan.
I'm just trying to untie you, Joe. Can you stand up for me?
Monroe, help, please.
Ella es un árbol.
It's okay. It's okay. I can walk.
Tío, que no.
Are you hurt?
Que no me funcionan a mí los putos botones.
Just dizzy. Let's get you home.
Es la segunda vez que me pasa.
The important thing is that he's safe.
And I'm 50,000 poorer. I'm sorry. I'm glad he's back. Thank you for getting to him so quickly.
You didn't tell us there was a ransom.
Well, there was, and I paid it. They said he'd be in the woods.
Did Joe say anything about who kidnapped him?
He said it was his teacher, Miss Clay.
Nothing about Yvette?
There was a French girl that was helping her. He didn't see her.
I'm just glad he's home.
Do you think they'll catch Miss Clay?
Only if she wants to be caught.
Do you think Joe was ever in any real danger?
Probably.
Se acaba de hacer rubia la señora.
I thought environmentalists loved the planet, including all the humans on it.
I think most of them do. They're always fanatics, Monroe, in everything.
I'm going to plant a tree tomorrow, in our yard.
Maybe we should look into solar panels.
Can we even afford next month's rent?
It's not next month yet.
We never found out who Yvette was either.
Some things will always remain a mystery, Monroe.
Attends, Yvette. Un moment, maman. J'ai fait mes devoirs.
Oh, wow. Girito de guión.
Next time on Dark Nights with Poe and Monroe.
We have a special treat for you tonight. Madame Baratsky claims to have helped hundreds of clients discover their previous selves. Monroe, are you ready to meet your past self?
I was born ready.
Bueno, la que se viene.
I'm Elizabeth. That's what you were going to ask, isn't it?
Dark Nights.
With Poe and Monroe.
The Poe and Monroe. Vale, cogimos la llamada, obviamente. Salvaste a MUNRO. ¿En serio? Elegiste... llamar a la policía. No, al otro. Visitaste la escuela de Joe primero. Elegiste ver a Violet con MUNRO. Ah, claro, con MUNRO. Claro. Es que... Elegiste ayudar a Violet a secarse. Dejaste que MUNRO tratase con Westmire. Y no lograste mantener en pie. Si esto es así, es que creo que algo en el juego falla. Porque antes con la señorita y sus piernas el botón no me funcionaba. Y con este tampoco me ha funcionado. Siguiente capítulo. Verde de envidia se llamaba este. Por cierto, no tengo leche para hacerme cafés ni colacaos.
Dark nights.
Todo el mundo cambia.
Maybe we should have a safe word.
If you're worried,
I'm worried I won't like it.
then we should definitely have.
Ordeñar las gatas, no.
What do you think, Miss Baratsky?
It's Madame.
I'm sorry, Madame Baratsky.
You must feel relaxed. So if a safe word would help, then yes.
What should it be?
Soy muy viciosa. Plátano.
Banana.
Banana it is.
Okay. Banana. 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 Sorry, I'm just practicing.
Places, everyone. And we're live in 3, 2... Welcome back. As promised, listeners, we have a special treat for you tonight. Madame Baratsky is a past life regression therapist who claims to have helped hundreds of clients discover their previous selves, from ancient Egyptian concubines to Cold War spies. Welcome, Madame Baratsky.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, it wouldn't be our show without my better and more beautiful half. Say hello, Monroe.
Hello, Monroe.
Monroe has bravely volunteered to be put to sleep by Madame Baratsky this evening.
You make it sound like euthanasia.
She's going to wake you up again. Aren't you?
Of course. Remind me again why you couldn't do it, Poe?
Oh, dodgy knee. In just a moment, Madame Baratsky will put Monroe into a trance.
I prefer hypnotic state.
Into a hypnotic state. And we'll ask her to describe what she sees. Later on, we'll be taking your calls. Have you lived before? Do you remember any past lives? Or is it all just a money-making racket? Let us know. Monroe?
Yes, Poe?
Are you ready to meet your past self?
I was born ready.
Let's hope you were reborn ready. Madame Baratsky, take it away.
Now, Miss Monroe, please relax. Close your eyes and focus on the sound of my voice. Listen to nothing else but my voice.
Madame Baratsky has started the regression program.
Cállate.
Focus on your arms. Feel how heavy they are. Feel them sink into the chair and pull you into the deep, deep dark. Let the darkness consume you. Good.
Le picaba la nariz a la señorita, ¿eh?
Relaxed and suggestible. Now you have crossed into a life you have lived before. Do you remember who you are?
Yes.
Monroe says she can remember a previous life.
Shh.
Qué tonto es de verdad.
Do not rush. Let the world come to you. Let it reveal itself to you. Let the world envelop you. Step into the world and become your former self.
¿Agua o café? Agua.
Now tell me what you see.
Muchísimo, John, muchísimo. Ah, coño, no había visto.
That's what you were going to ask, isn't it?
Sí.
Being right. It's a gift and a burden. Where's Dr. Decker? He's gone sailing. Weird. I've been coming here for months, and I don't really know anything about him. What did he tell you about me?
No lo sé. ¿Que erais pareja?
Relationships are hard, especially with my condition. Let's play a game, Doctor. You're very accommodating for a therapist. You think of something, and I'll get it. A triangle. A love triangle, perhaps. Don't say anything. I mean, you haven't said anything since you've arrived. Do you believe me now? That I can read your mind?
No.
Don't say anything then. I'll keep doing my thing.
Realmente lo he acertado, por cierto.
Something happened at work. The dry cleaner's in town. I can't switch it off. As soon as I lock eyes with a person, I get their thoughts.
Es que es muy raro el texto de decisiones.
I'd like to be a brain surgeon, but I didn't apply myself enough. I am pretty nimble with an iron, though. Anyway, there's this guy who walks in with a suit. It's got a stain on the trousers near the zipper. And all he's thinking when he drops them off is, Sharon can't pick these up, Sharon can't pick these up. So he starts screaming at me that he needs the hour service or he'll have me fired. So I call the manager. My manager is also called Sharon.
so it gets a bit confusing. I call Sharon over anyway. Sharon! Sharon! This guy's face is a picture, but he's holding it together. Sharon comes over preoccupied. She's thinking about the washing machines. She is the manager, so she normally does that, but this time was different. She was thinking about Nisha, spinning away in one of them. Nisha?
No sé quién es.
She's a part-timer, waiting to start uni. Sweet looking, but salty.
Perdón.
Anyway, the store manager hears shouting and comes over. The customer, let's call him Ed, says that we shouldn't be advertising something we can't deliver. Says he's a lawyer and he'll sue us. The store manager, whose name I intentionally forget, says he'll sort it out. Shaman, in the meantime, has gone ashen. I lock onto Shaman's eyes, and I see it again. Nisha, spinning away in a machine. At this point, I'm guessing Sharon has a fantasy about killing her.
Hombre, Igor, buenas noches.
Ed finally gives in, throws his suit at me, and leaves. The manager
Siempre
looks
estoy
at me and
guapísimo.
says, "Can you work your magic hands over his trousers?" He's thinking of me topless, in a hot tub, but with way bigger breasts. And some other things I'd rather not remember. Knowing people's thoughts eats your soul.
Lo de follable es discutible. Pues vamos a seguir con el rollo de la señorita que se desnuda en el jacuzzi.
Fine. I guess I painted the picture you might as well think it. Thanks for letting me wear a bra, though. They're still too big. Anyway, I take it round back to start working on it. And that's when I see her. Nisha. Like a ragdoll in a hurricane. Just spinning inside this big machine. Her face smashing against glass and metal. Blood pouring out of every opening. She's a mess.
Pero es que no tiene sentido la historia de la señora. No tiene ningún sentido. Ojo que regresa, ¿eh? La señorita MUNRO.
Can you see any jewelry? A ring, maybe?
Banana.
Yes. A ring.
Good. I need you to get it for me. Do you understand?
I understand.
Ojo con la morena.
Well, this is fascinating, August. We'll be
Que
back
te
with more of
calles.
Munro's past life.
Que te calles.
What's going on?
I'm helping Ellis uncover her past.
Why does she need to get this ring?
Oh, it's just a technique I use.
I think you should bring her back now.
It would be dangerous at this point.
Then do it at whatever point it won't be.
Quiet. I'm trying to concentrate.
Es que me hace mucha gracia la actuación de la gente, de verdad. Apenas sobreactúan los cabrones. Kratos, cariño, ¿qué haces aquí? Estamos con tema de lavandería, de Nisha y muerte. La muerte de Nisha podría ser.
Nisha kissed me once, so...
Kratos, no te metas por ahí,
I
cariño.
slapped her. We were in the machine room. She said she'd got something in her eye and would I take a look? So I did. Her irises were lovely and big, dilated. And while I was looking, she just kissed me.
¿Y tú la
But her
mataste?
mind, it was beautiful, shimmering. And then when she kissed me, it all fell away. All that was left was shame, fear, repulsion. So I slapped her.
Es que no queda muy clara es lo que no me gusta
What did Nisha think about?
del juego.
Nisha thought about Jared a lot. She hated him, but she also wanted to sleep with him at the same time. It's pretty common. I'm sure there's an interesting scientific term for it.
Amor.
You think Nisha loved him?
Por supuesto.
I've read a lot of minds. I'm still not sure what love looks like. Who would want to kill Nisha? I guess Sharon? She was tried and convicted, so...
Tiene mucho sentido esto.
I saw Nisha's body in the machine. Her eyes were still open, crying blood. But I looked into them and there was peace. Nothing else. Just peace. Sharon's in a psychiatric hospital now.
Me tira un pedo.
Sharon's fingerprints were all over the machines. And her husband was having sex with Nisha. That's all the jury needed. Nobody saw her do it, though. She just didn't have a good enough lawyer. People with money get away with murder all the time, though. Don't they?
Hombre, no siempre.
Fair enough. I live on benefits, so I probably shouldn't murder anyone. Nisha worked for Sharon as a housemaid. That's how she met her husband. It's so cliche. Nisha was desperate for money, and he was desperate for attention.
Necesito que John diga la palabra mágica. El lunes trabajo. Han tardado 4 horas. 4 horas en decirme ven el lunes.
I never told anyone this, but Nisha charged Sharon's husband for sex.
Era prostituta.
She said she would have done it anyway, but since there was a chance of getting paid, I don't think Sharon knew. Would you pay someone to have sex with you, Doctor?
No.
People pay people to have sex with them all the time. Just not with money. They do it expecting love, or opportunity, time, companionship, or orgasms.
Lo último, bien.
They arrested Sharon for Nisha's murder. Sentenced to 18 years. One for each of Nisha's. Is that enough?
Maybe murder should be punishable by death.
A ver, depende del asesinato, pero sí.
People don't change, do they? They just get worse.
Segundito.
Nisha was good at cleaning. What can I say? Often I'd go to the back of the machines to hoover the lint trays out, and Nisha was there with Jared, hoovering away already. I did see Sharon once after the trial. She didn't talk. But in her head, all I could see was Nisha going round and round. Her mind was literally stuck like a broken record. I watched the trial from the gallery. Not many people made eye contact with me, but Sharon did. She wanted to die. Really die. I don't think she killed Nisha. Sharon's defense. She said Jared killed Nisha. The Umbrella Man. Jared's the Umbrella Man. It's a nickname. We were on a works do and it started raining, and then Jared pulls out this tiny umbrella out of nowhere and then gets handsy with any girl stupid enough to duck under it. Hence, Umbrella Man. They closed down the store for a while so the real cleaners could come in. They got rid of all the blood. It wasn't just blood. Her skull had split open and was grating against the metal drum. Some of her teeth. Sorry, Doctor. What did you want to know? Yeah, dry cleaning machines have huge locks. There's no way of shutting yourself in. You really have to get a friend to help. Or manager. Perchloroethylene. It's what they use in dry cleaning machines. But Nisha didn't drown. The spin cycle broke her spinal cord, so she was paralysed for a few minutes while her face mashed into everything. Shock probably got her first.
No entiendo nada de este capítulo.
Sharon's fingerprints were the only ones on the machine. Actually, hers and Nisha's. The police thought she'd struggled against the machine, trying to fight Sharon. Nobody heard anything, though. I'm allergic to nuts.
Café Nespresso, Perdón, dolce gusto.
Is this definitely normal milk?
¿La drogamos? Vamos a drogarla.
The milk's a bit funny. Maybe it's on the turn.
Hola, Mai. Rebonica, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo está usted?
What's happening?
Dark Nights with POE and MUNRO. Perdón por mi inglés de Cuenca. Te ha puesto en el título. Chata, despierta.
Banana. Banana. Why isn't it working?
She has to say it, not you.
Wake up. Monroe. Alice. If anything happens to her.
Te reviento la cabeza.
Just sit down, please.
Qué poco me fío de la señora.
How can I go in after her? I'd have to get in her brain.
I'm very good at what I do. Sleep.
Maravilloso. Con la otra costó un poquito más.
There's a good boy.
Pero ojito con la bruja, ¿eh? Por favor, dejad de llamarme, señores del trabajo. Me quiero morir. Sigue siendo ella, ¿no?
Do you want to see my ring? What? Don't remember wearing one. Shall I take it off?
El anillo es lo que nos ha pedido ella, ¿eh? Que fuéramos a buscar el anillo.
There's something written inside it.
Most extraordinary. Does it have an inscription?
4, 2, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0.
Sí, que me han enviado un mensaje que el lunes vaya a trabajar por la mañana. Les he dicho que no puedo confirmar. He quitado el sonido. Imagino que estéis escuchando la vibración del móvil. Tenemos que volver a hacerlo todo. No me jodas. El señor del paraguas. La lavadora. No me deja la lavadora pues paraguas.
Jared, the umbrella man.
¿Qué me he dejado?
He's weird. Like a spider. Sharon ducked under his umbrella that time, and his hands slithered around her body and kind of rested under her breast. Everyone knew he was touching it, and Sharon just gave a weak smile and wriggled away. I tried to read his mind, but it was like a stereogram.
¡Hombre, séquito! Compañero, ¿qué tal? No, a ver, es entendible. Temas que no voy a explicar, pero es entendible que el lunes tenga que ir a trabajar. Que se ha dicho que no he confirmado todavía, ¿eh? Que el domingo confirmo.
His facial expression didn't change. Nothing. It was like he was wrapping his arms around his prey. He didn't seem to be particularly enjoying touching her breast, just for science. Jared's mind was a mess of coloured dots that didn't make any sense. I never knew what he was thinking. Ever. There's only one other person I know that's like that.
El doctor, hemos empezado diciendo que no podía leer nuestra mente. Vamos a tirar por ahí.
Yep. Dr. Decker. His mind's also mush. I actually came here today to tell him that I don't want any more sessions. He creeps me out.
Otro pedo, ¿eh? Yo os dejo caer cuando me tiro pedos por si escucháis ruidos raros. No os asustéis, no se me está cayendo la casa encima. Es mi culo.
Nisha was asking for it, wasn't she? I mean, if your partner's cheating on you, you murder their fling, right?
No.
Exactly. She'd have killed her husband for sure. Why start with Nisha? It doesn't make any sense.
No, desde luego que este capítulo no tiene ni puto sentido con la historia.
I think Jared killed Nisha. I told you about the Umbrella Man. She hated him. But in a lady doth protest too much kind of way. Maybe he killed her. I already said that Jared killed Nisha.
Sí.
Or something did. Do you believe in the supernatural?
Por supuesto que sí. Si no, no estaría viviendo aquí en esta casa.
Jared killed Nisha. I don't think I'm safe here. I saw it happen. But I couldn't tell the police. They were in the back room. Jared and Nisha. They were kissing. And then she opened the door to the machine. She just got in. And Jared, he shut it. He didn't have fingers. He had... I can't.
No entiendo.
Dr. Decker said that if I can imagine another world, I can move myself into it. Just dream myself away. Become someone else. Someone people love. Someone beautiful. Someone who isn't me. What do you think, Doctor? Can I just dream myself away?
Soñaré gratis.
Thank you. Jared knows I know. And he's coming for me. I guess I should start dreaming. I've always liked the name MUNRO. What do you think, Doctor? Would I make a good MUNRO?
A ver, está claro que era ella, pero no sabía que... O sea, yo doy por hecho que es la misma chica en el mismo espacio temporal. O sea, que realmente es el pasado de ella.
You awake, as if from some deep sleep.
Dejaos sobado. Que es muy tonto, por favor.
Well be gone.
Esa manita. Es que sois tontísimos.
That should cover it. See myself out.
Sois tontísimos. La Virgen. La bruja estaba para darle.
Dr. Decker.
On that note, here's a message from our sponsor that you're sure to enjoy. Police are looking for Miss Baratsky. It's a shame she didn't stick around.
Was she even licensed?
Yo qué sé.
She came highly recommended.
From who?
Herself, when she knocked on the door yesterday morning.
You let a complete stranger take over my body?
I didn't know what she was going to do.
I feel so violated.
Tan violada.
Can't
Pobre.
even tell our listeners.
We were robbed. She literally took my wallet and your purse.
I know. That was everything I had.
And that wasn't all she took.
What else is gone?
My adoption papers.
What?
My adoption papers are missing.
I didn't know you were adopted.
Well, I am. I'm not ashamed to say it.
Sorry, Poe. I wasn't suggesting that.
It's unsettling when someone takes something so personal.
Just who does she think she is?
A past lives travel agent who robbed us whilst we were dreaming.
But it wasn't a dream. You were there. You and me.
Yes, just like Wizard of Oz. Maybe the reason the people looked familiar is because you made it all up yourself.
So, are we dreaming now or is this real? I can't tell anymore.
Want me to give you a squeeze?
No, this is real.
How can you be so sure?
Because in my dreams you're much more of a charmer.
And richer, I'd imagine.
Too soon, Poe. Too soon. Next time on Dark Nights with
Bueno.
Poe and Munro.
¿Qué es el cuarto capítulo?
You're live on air, like
Tenía 7, me parece.
He said it was a hairy animal,
Size of a man.
and the moon was full.
Te metes un chiste de par.
We're going werewolf hunting.
I'm Casper Light. You have to stay away from Wolf Lane.
La tos no.
I'm sorry. You have no idea what's at stake.
Dark Nights.
With Poe and Munro.
Vale, vamos a ver las decisiones de la gente. Bueno, hay algunas que no veis por... De hecho, voy a hacer una cosa. Voy a hacer un momento del juego, ¿vale? Vamos a subir la cámara. Porque aquí en este juego no molesta. A ver, seguridad ante todo. Elegiste banana. ¿En serio? Solo el 29% eligió banana. Venga, hombre. Vale, elegiste agua fría. Tengo que ser muy especialito, ¿eh? Pensaste en un triángulo. Bien. ¿Crees que el asesino debe ser castigado con la pena de muerte? Me parece lógico. Siempre y cuando el asesinato sea premeditado, me parece lojísimo. O sea, más que con pena de muerte, con... Ay, se me ha ido de la cabeza. Cadena perpetua. ¿Crees que los ricos pueden eludir la justicia? No, yo contesté que no. O sea, yo contesté que no podían eludirla. Bueno. ¿Le parece a alguien por tener sexo contigo? Obviamente no. Más que nada porque no tengo dinero, quiero decir. Si tuviera dinero, pues le diría que sí. Daños colaterales. No matarías a la aventura amorosa de tu pareja. No me parece justo. Mataría a mi pareja, obviamente. O sea, entendedme dentro del juego. Me van a denunciar ahora por asesinato. ¿Y crees en lo sobrenatural? Of course. Siguiente capítulo. Se ha quedado bugueado, se ha quedado bugueado. Acaba de morir el juego, ¿eh? Tenía que pasar, obviamente. No. Esto se ha quedado. A ver.
Dark Nights.
With Poe and Munro.
Es que se me ha quedado. Voy a cerrar el juego. Ay, es que tenía que pasar, obviamente. A ver. A ver, en principio no puedo... O sea, se me ha quedado bloqueadísimo esto. A ver. Un segundito. No, se me ha quedado, ¿eh? Qué puta rabia, de verdad. A ver, estáis escuchando, pero no, ¿eh? Quiero decir, no. Esto es lo que se ve.
Dark nights.
With Poe and Munro.
Y la putada es que todo esto se me abre en el otro monitor. No me jodas, instalación, no, tío. Que el juego me está gustando la historia. Es que no me deja cerrar la ventana, es absurdísimo lo que está pasando. Es absurdísimo. Sí, en ello estoy, Mai. Pero no... Se me ha quedado el monitor bloqueado. Y como se me suelen abrir las cosas en el otro monitor... A ver... Un segundito. Que me va a tocar cerrar el directo. Me va a tocar cerrar el directo para que el monitor se reinicie. A ver... Es que no me deja. Se me ha quedado bloqueado el monitor. O sea, se me ha quedado el monitor... Espérate que ahora... Se me ha quedado el monitor ahí y no hay manera. Tengo el administrador de tareas que no puedo moverlo de ventana porque no me deja interaccionar. Vale, ojito. No. A ver. ¿Cómo puedo hacer? Es que como que se me han mezclado los dos monitores. Es súper raro lo que me ha pasado. Es súper raro lo que me ha pasado. A ver. Es que el administrador de tareas se me abre en la otra pantalla. Pero voy a intentar hacer una cosa. Es súper raro. No. Pues vamos a tener que dejar el directo. No, es que... me ha hecho una cosa súper rara el juego. Nada, vamos a dejar el directo y ya está. Ya seguiremos con el juego otro día. O eso, o voy a hacer una cosa. Voy a reiniciar el PC. Y reiniciaremos el directo, ¿vale? Dadme 5 minutillos. Que reinicie PC y prepare esto para continuar. Vuelvo enseguida.